All right, folks, final thoughts time for Yellow Jersey from designer Gavin Birnbaum. Designer and woodworker, I should say. Because right off the bat, let's just get out of the way. Oh my gosh, can you get better components than this? It is just so lovely. I mean, you can just smell the wood. These bikes, they're adorable. The cute little design of these bikes, absolutely love them. Although Jen keeps thinking if you look at them backwards, they're kind of like shopping carts, like new age shopping carts. But to me, I just look at them and I see, bikers just, putting everything into it. The fact that even though the board is static and will play the exact same way every time, the fact that you can go clockwise or counterclockwise, which changes the order of obstacles you get into, and then when you randomly put these sticks around, it has the stage markers. It has such a huge impact on how you play. If you have like a really long stage, it's tough, or it's easier in a long stage to keep everybody bunched up so you get a lot of movement out of it. Or if you have like a lot of really short ones where it's very easy for your teammates to get separated, so suddenly you slow down. And then on top of that, all the one-upsmanship is you're trying to guess what your opponent is going to do so you can pass them. So you can put yourself in a situation where they will crash and they will get slowed down. Hey everybody, before I go any farther with this final thoughts, I figured I should jump in because one thing I didn't actually mention while I was doing the run-through, I was playing a two-player only hardcore variant that basically tightens the board up quite a bit, but it does make gameplay a little bit different, and I really should have demonstrated at some point during the run-through how the game normally plays. So I'm just going to pan down really quick so you can see. Basically, what I didn't show you is, under normal circumstances, if you are playing a 3 or 4 player game, or you are playing 2-player under normally, bikes can overtake each other without having to slipstream. You can just drive right past, you just have to move through if you have enough movement. And in a 3 or 4 player game, that is absolutely critical because otherwise bikes will be constantly crashing nonstop. In a 2-player game, though, it's an option to play where, remember at the beginning of the run-through, I had a situation where 2 bikes right out of the gate were blocking this road. And so my guy who had to play a 6, he would have gone 1, 2, 3 and then crashed, right? And that would have been a problem for me. Regularly, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and just keep on going. You can go right past guys. The slipstreaming is only if you happen to in behind somebody, you get a free extra movement to skip over them. But you can always move past guys that are in your lane. And like I said, for 3 or 4 players, absolutely essentially play that way. But in a 2-player game, we think it's much, much better that players can create walls that will totally stop the other player in their tracks, because with only 6 bikes on the road, obviously, you really need to tighten the board up a little bit, and so this is a great way to do it. So, just wanted to mention that. If you're playing 3 or 4 players, you can always drive through somebody, and if you don't want to play the hardcore 2-player game, you can always just bike right on by. And now, back to our regularly scheduled final thoughts. There's a surprising amount to think about, and what's great is, unlike the vast majority of racing games out there, this game works really well with 2. Jen and I enjoyed it quite a bit. Now, of course, it's going to be much, much better with more. The more players you can get, the more fun it's going to be, because this place is just going to be chock-a with bikes crashing and stumbling all over each other as they slam in, as they desperately try to get across the finish line. But, in a 2-player game, what we found is don't play the first across the finish line like what I just did. Play the team race or the time trial, because then it's a longer game, of course, because you got to get everybody across the finish line. But it gives you a lot more to think, because if we were playing a time trial, I went all in to try and get my guy across the finish line, but I've left this guy practically back at the beginning. It's going to take him forever to catch up. Jen was definitely playing a smarter game for a team race because she's going to get her team across the line first, and it requires you to play very, very differently. So there's really not much to say. I don't have anything negative to say about this game at all. Very clever, very fun, very simple. You could teach anybody to play this game. The components are stellar. And you can feel they're lovingly handcrafted. And that's it. About the only negative thing I can say about this game is it's going to be really hard for you to get. Like I said, the designer, he's only making around 20. I don't know the exact number. I think it might have to do with how many actual orders he gets for Essen. But I don't know if this is a one in a lifetime or if he's going to do additional stuff. I think this is a wonderful game that should get picked up for full production. And maybe that'll happen somewhere down the road because it's sharp. Obviously, there's a lot of people out there who love the Tour de France. And how great is it to have a gateway game you could play with anybody? Jen's hovering. I don't know if she has something to say.
I just want to say this box is indestructible.
The box is indestructible. Why? Were you trying to destroy the box at some point?
No, but you think about how many you get dinged up boxes and how that devalues your game.
I suppose that's true. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, this is obviously a game that is designed to be played out in the wild. I mean, you can carry it with you anywhere. It's nice and self-contained. Everything's inside. You're at a pub. You crack it open. Doesn't matter if everybody's sitting around drinking a few beers. Like Jen says, this box is indestructible. You can take it with you, or you can play it outside. You can play it on a windy day because it's wood and these pegs won't fall over. You could. It's great. I mean, this is a wonderful game. I'm really happy. I consider ourselves very, very lucky to have one of the very, very few copies in the world, and you can too if you beat feet over to www.cubico.webs.com. Again, the link is in the show notes down below. There won't be very many of them. Who knows if it'll ever get another printing. Some publisher out there has to be smart enough to pick this up, though. I got to assume that's the case. But do you want to take that chance? It's up to you. The bike is in your court, and the race is on. Thanks for watching, everybody. That was Yellow Jersey. Talk to you later. I can't really think of anything else other than any comments, questions, concerns. As always, let me know. Otherwise, I hope you have a very, very nice day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.